this is David Stark from WatcherPass.com, your website for movie reviews, interviews, and recommendations. Today, I'm joined by Martin Wilson, the director of Great White, which is releasing digitally and on demand on July 16th, 2021. We're going to talk to him in just a second, but first, let's check out the trailer. And while you're watching, if you can like and subscribe to this channel, that would be fantastic. I'll spend a lot. Thank you.
Welcome to the Pearl Coast.
Keep your eyes open, you might see a whale.
Or a shark.
Okay, we're going down.
What the hell was that? We're sinking fast.
We're floating around in this piece of plastic junk. And if the shark is still out there, I'd rate our chances at all surviving at less than 5%. So do you think it's gone?
It's still out there. It's close.
Where is it?
It's got to be out there somewhere. Hey, David.
Hey, Martin.
Hey, buddy.
You good to go?
Good to go.
Perfect. What time is it over there?
It is 10 a.m. Thursday morning.
Awesome. 10 p.m. Wednesday night. So it's a good time.
Where are you based?
Washington, D.C. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So it's a late one, but hey, let's get going. I don't want to take up too much of your time, and you probably have a busy day of interviews.
Too easy.
Awesome. So thank you so much for joining me. This is Martin Wilson, the director of Great White, which is releasing digitally and on demand on July 16th, 2021. He's joining me from Australia. This might be the furthest I've had for an interview. So this is exciting.
Yeah, well, the tyranny of distance is always a interesting but a wonderful thing. The movie is also coming out in cinemas too on July 16th.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
Very exciting.
I will update that. Thank you so much.
No worries.
So this is your I guess this is your feature debut. You've done some shorts and other work in the past, but this is your feature film debut. So I guess how did you get this? I know this is a big step. How did you get this started, and how did you kind of get the studio to trust you to make a full-length film?
Yeah, well, it's a 20-year odyssey. Of trying to get your feature film off the ground. I mean, I've been doing primarily TV commercials, and then Michael Robertson and Neil Kingston, who I've known through the TVC world for 20 years, have often been sending me scripts. And finally, they sent me this script, Great White. It appealed to me immensely because it was a creature feature, had a lot of visceral, thrilling elements, which I love. And with finally the planets aligned and the film got green lit, and we were away, which is so exciting.
That is awesome. And so the interesting thing about this film is it's kind of a self-contained movie. You've got a lot, a core group, about 5 people who kind of spend some time on an isolated island and then in a raft. It feels like this could have been a perfect film to make during COVID. I'm not sure what the timing was like. It was probably filmed before, but this also feels like a film that you could have totally made during COVID and been perfectly safe.
Yeah, because I mean, we've been very lucky over here with COVID, but it wasn't. It was shot in November 2019. We haven't even heard of COVID by then.
Oh,
very,
wow.
very, in essence, the film is has a lot of epic, vast qualities in terms of the environment that we're in, and the size of the raft being a small raft, which is basically it's losing air, and so they're being stalked by a shark. So I guess, yes, it's claustrophobic, but also vast in that they're surrounded by nothing but water.
Yeah, no, definitely. And you mentioned way back in 2019, I was like thinking back to a better time, but then this film doesn't exactly evoke a better time, so I'm not sure which one I would take of the two.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned that this came across your desk, and it was a creature feature. It was something that kind of appealed to you. Had you been looking for, I guess, a genre film, or were you just kind of looking for the right movie, that you thought you could do, to showcase your skills and also kind of, take on as a first-time directorial debut?
Yeah, great question. I mean, obviously, you're looking for the right movie that suits your sensibilities and your tastes and what you want to do. And it has taken a long time, but obviously, the universe presented me with this one, and I'd certainly took up and just dove off the deep end and embraced every element of it. So yeah, it was just one of those amazing things. Finally, it happened. Finally, something happened.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. You just sunk your teeth into it and didn't let go.
All the cliches.
Yeah, we'll
yes.
just do it all.
Dove off the deep end, sunk my teeth into it. Yeah, it was just like there was a raft of difficulties.
And you couldn't stop swimming. You had to keep going.
Yeah, against the tide. It was against the tide.
So this, I don't think this was based on any true story, but this feels like it could have been based on either urban legends or, you know, true shark accounts, true accounts of people maybe being stranded or being attacked. Was there any core of truth, or was this just, you know?
I think the writer had elements of truth in it for sure. And yeah, like so we'd have to ask him directly, but my gut feeling is there are elements of truth in the characters and in the settings and in what happened.
And you know, it's interesting that you took this on as your directorial feature, because it's very self-contained, like I said, because you've got, you know, 5 people in this specific location, but also the fact that it seems like a lot of these locations are fairly isolated. That must have been a challenge as well. What was it like filming in these locations? I assume some was, you know, in a set, some was filmed on an island of some sort. What was it like to film these, and what challenges did you run into trying to film in these places?
I think that people say don't work with children and animals. They also say don't work on water. But no one told me that. No, it was really challenging because firstly, I had 25 days to shoot an action adventure film set out in the water, which is very, very tough. And then, of course, the working in those environments in the water, you've got, as I said, you've got all the elements of weather. You know, the tides, the belting, brutal sun, you know, and the wind and the stingers and the jellyfish in the water. So you lose time to all these little things. You lose 2 hours in one day because the winds are so brutal and we have to shut down. Then we have to try and find those that time in the other part of the schedule, and it's not easy because that's chock full. So, and then you move into more so-called controllable environments, which is like in tanks and so forth. And then the actors are up against very claustrophobic, dark settings, and you've got to hold your breath, and it's challenging to work with people in those environments. So there's so many of these elements in the film process, in the making process, which are really challenging.
Yeah, definitely. And then the big kind of focal point of this film are the shark. Well, the shark. I'll say shark. And then how did you? It seems like it was a combination of prosthetics and maybe CG. Like how did you film? Them in the various locations. Yeah.
Oh, it's a combination, as you said. There's a combination of the carefully selected stock shots, a combination of some CGI stuff, and then there's the animatronic shark, which we called Brenda, and in course Jaws it was Bruce, which was named after the lawyer. Brenda wasn't named after the lawyer. So yes, we had a combination of all those things, and it's always hard in a shark film or in this great genre where there's so many good films and interesting different types of films, is how do you make it different? What's the point of difference in the film? And for us, it was showcasing that beautiful, visceral, epic quality of Northern Australia, the tropical, beguiling nature of the water. It's just so inviting, yet underneath there's that primal danger lurking, and that's what we were focusing on. And also the environmental element of, there's a scene where Joji tosses his plastic water bottle in the ocean. So it's a little bit of the, what have we done to the environment? What have we done to the waters? The shark's home. What we've tipped it out of balance. So they were like the archangels of the ocean. So we're trying to give it that little bit, these little elements without being too heavy-handed, to give it a bit of a point of difference over other shark films.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I felt like there were some, callbacks to some previous, genre shark films that there was something I was expecting to happen that didn't. I thought you kind of set that up really well. So it was nice. There were nice little touches, but you definitely kind of made it your own, which was fun to see.
Yeah, put you on the edge.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I know what's going to happen. Oh wait, no, I don't know what's going to happen.
That's good. That's good.
And I imagine, when you were pitching this to the cast, you were like, hey, do you want to go film 25 days in paradise in a tropical location? How did you?
Yes. It'd be a resort. You'll be living on a resort. No, of course not. The cast were very, they really embraced the whole project and what we were trying to do, which is, they got to know, and we all got to know very quickly the limitations and even the dangers of shooting in location and doing all these stunts and all this action and being in the water for a long time. But they never complained 1 second, and they were just absolute troopers in embracing the action adventure element of the film. And then also all the actors have a tremendous emotional capacity as well, which we relied upon when we're dealing with the nuanced characters on the raft alone and things like that. So they were a great troupe of actors, and they were really really ballsy, in how they approach the film.
Yeah, definitely. And they have to have, some sort of emotional nuance, because there's, only a few of them, and they do spend a lot of time in the same location. So in order to kind of mix it up, you do have to have the emotional conflict and, growth as well. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. So now I'd like to switch. I know we have limited time. I'd like to switch. I call it the lightning round. It's just very lightweight questions about the film. I want to see how your experiences match with things that happen in the film. You can feel free to pass on any of them. I won't be offendended, but I try to keep them answerable. So the first question, and probably the most obvious question: have you ever been bitten by a shark?
No,
okay.
not one in the ocean.
Okay. Have you ever gotten plane sick?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Was it contained, or did you make
very
a giant...
contained? But my worst sort of, what would you call it? Balance is probably seasickness. Yeah, like that's a tough one.
Yeah, that's when you can't really rectify. You just kind of have to wait it out.
You're certainly vulnerable in that moment.
I'm going to say this might not have been the best film for you to start with. If you get seasick, that doesn't seem like the best combination.
Silly me. Yeah.
Have you ever flown somewhere just for lunch?
No.
Okay. No. This is probably years in the future, but where would you want your ashes to be scattered if you had a choice?
Oh my goodness me. Gosh, that's such a good question. And I know you've got limited time.
Take your time.
How do you give a poignant answer to something like that? My answer right now is give me time to think about it.
Okay. Well, hopefully you have lots and lots of time. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah, got plenty of time.
When was the last time you were at the beach?
Probably 2 months ago. Awesome. We go to the beach a lot in Australia. It's beautiful.
That makes sense. Yeah, it looked beautiful. I want to go out there, but after watching the film, maybe not.
But be careful. Be careful.
And the last question is: have you ever had shark fin soup?
Gosh, no, and especially not now. I won't entertain it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's probably not. Despite what happened in the film, sharks are an important part of our ecosystem. So
absolutely,
awesome.
Man.
So the film releases next month in theaters and digitally, and I imagine you'll be promoting that. But then, do you have other projects you're looking at? Anything else lined up after this?
Yeah,
or you're just going to take a nice long break, have some lunch on the beach.
No, I'm definitely focused on getting other projects off the ground and very much in the creature feature world. That's where I want to focus the next steps. I've got a project about the legend of the big cat in Australia. And that's a bit of a Stand By Me meets Ghost in the Darkness. And I've got another sort of sci-fi thriller type of thing with werewolves on a plane type of project. So there's a couple of very exciting genre projects I want to get off the ground. And, I'm really hoping the film finds a really solid fan base and audience in the States.
Yeah, well, definitely. Those both sound really exciting. And the film, you can check it out on July 16, 2021. It's called Great White. It's releasing in theaters, digitally, and on demand. And this is the director, Martin Wilson. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, David.
Awesome. Take care.
Thanks, mate. Bye.
That was Martin Wilson, the director of Great White, which is releasing digitally and on demand on July 16, 2021. It's a great movie to take with you on your vacation. Just stay away from the water while you're watching it. You might regret it. If you like this interview, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot and makes sure all my new content goes straight to you. And as always, please go to watcherpass.com for all your movie reviews, interviews, and recommendations. Thank you.